Welcome back to the another tutorial. In today's session, I will walk you through the essential steps of picking up and applying acrylic beads. If you have been struggling with this process, don't worry. We will start by practicing how to pick up the bead and place it correctly on the sheet. Once you have mastered this, you will find it easier to handle on your nails. Join me today as I guide you through the sheet, demonstrating the techniques for taking the bead and the precise hand movement involved. I have previously shared a video on taking a bead, and today we are practicing on the sheet. The practice sheet is named as I Bling Nails because it is my Instagram handle, while my YouTube channel is Sapna Mohan. Let's make this hands-on practice session simple and effective together. Now, focusing on the sheet, the top 3 circles are meant for placing 3 different sized acrylic beads: large, medium and small. The purpose is to refine your hands movement and perfect the acrylic application techniques. Today we will dive into the process of creating 3-bead acrylic on the sheet. Learn how to pick and move and place the bead, concentrating the right quantity for each step. Moving down the sheet, you will notice its shape like 1, 2, 3. This setup is for a 3-bead nail extension practice, simulating the technique we use on hands. Additionally, you will find 2 bead labeled 1 and 2, designed for a 2-bead acrylic extension. The nail shapes guide the practice for a 1-bead acrylic extension. Essentially, this sheet covers various shapes and bead technique: 1 bead, 2 bead, 3 bead and circle bead. It's all about getting hands-on with acrylic beads and nails to perfect those nail extension skills. Let's dive into each session and master this technique together. Get your acrylic powder, brush, monomer and damping dish ready. Pour monomer into the damping dish and let the brush take a breath until it becomes flexible. Once it's ready, dip into monomer, swatch and turn, placing the monomer side into the powder. You're going to dab the brush into the acrylic to take a bead. Now place it inside without letting it spill over. Clean your brush, then dab the bead again to ensure it stays within the circle. Managing the flow of acrylic might be a bit tricky at the first, but this practice helps your hands get used to it. It's all about making your fingers more flexible with handling acrylic beads. Keep practicing and you will get the hang of it. Repeat the exact same steps for the 2nd bead circle and 3rd bead circle. Do it just like you did it before. Picking up the bead, placing within the circle, cleaning the brush. This repetition helps you to get comfortable with the process and builds your skill in handling acrylic beads. Keep practicing for a smooth and confident application. Get ready for my upcoming videos where I will show you how to apply the 2-bead acrylic extension and 1-bead acrylic extension. Stay in the loop by liking, sharing and subscribing to my channel for more updates. Now, let's move on to the 3-bead nail extension on the sheet. The numbers 1, 2 and 3 corresponds to the edge, apex and cuticle area of the nail. It's called a 3-bead acrylic extension because we cover the entire nail from cuticle to edge using 3 beads. This method is considered the easiest way to learn acrylic extension, making it perfect for practice. When picking up the bead, follow the same process mentioned earlier. Dip the brush in monomer, swipe off axis, turn the brush, dip the monomer side brush in acrylic powder. Now dab into the acrylic powder to make a bead and create a well-formed acrylic bead. Place this bead on the number 1 section, the edge of the nail. Dab, shape it into a desired nail shape, in this case square. Then clean the brush. The key is to work with the acrylic before it dries. That's what we are practicing here. Keep it simple and let's perfect those acrylic extension together. Moving on to the 2nd session, for the 2nd bead, we will follow similar steps. However, when dipping the brush into the monomer, after removing axis, swipe the brush 2 times. This time we are aiming for a medium-sized acrylic bead as we focused on apex area. After swiping, turn the brush, dip it into acrylic powder, dab once or twice and create a beautiful bead. Place this bead on the 2nd session and start applying it on the sheet, dabbing to shape into a proper nail. Now, let's move on to the 3rd bead acrylic extension. This time, the acrylic bead should be slightly smaller as we focus on the cuticle area. Follow the same process but with a lighter touch. Keep it simple. It's important that your acrylic beads 1, 2 and 3 blend seamlessly. They shouldn't appear as distant bead. Instead, they should merge and look like a single well-applied bead. Let's master this technique together in a simple and effective way. Check out these 2 box-shaped nails. We are diving into practicing the 2-bead acrylic extension. Here is the drill. Bead 1 goes on the nail edge and bead 2 near the cuticle. From the cuticle, cover the apex area and then blend bead 1 and bead 2 for a seamless look. Dip your brush into the monomer, remove the excess and focus on the untouched monomer side. Gently tap the brush into the acrylic powder, no dragging. The result, a beautiful bead. For the first edge, go for a smaller or medium sized bead on the sheet. Clean the brush, then use it to handle the acrylic flow on the nail. If it goes beyond, gently tap and guide it back into the shape. Now, let's tackle the second bead using the same process. But this time, aim for a bigger bead. Don't remove too much monomer. Pick up that generous bead for bead 2 since it's covering the cuticle and apex area. Apply it on the nail, gently control the flow with a light touch and tap it back onto the nail if it goes beyond. The trick is to merge bead 1 and bead 2 seamlessly. It should look like one bead formed the entire nail. Easy, right? Just keep your hand light and a bit movable. And there you have it. Check out the beauty of 2-bead acrylic. It looks like we have used only one bead to create the entire nail. If you are unsure, I will walk you through the process once again. Let's see how to effortlessly apply the 2-bead acrylic technique. Let's break it down. First, dip your brush in the monomer, remove the excess. Then dip into the acrylic powder for a small or medium bead to cover the nail's edge. Tap gently, control the bead and guide it back if it goes out. That's the first box done. Now for the second one, use the same process but with a bigger bead. Apply it on the sheet, clean your brush, dab the bead, cover the cuticle and apex area and merge it seamlessly with the first bead. It's simple. Merge, cover and it's done. Now one bead means covering the entire nail with just one single bead, whether it's short, long or medium. We are using only one bead. I will walk you through the process of doing one bead acrylic on the sheet, focusing on oval and ballerina shape, also known as coffin. But here's the scoop. Handling one bead can be a bit tricky, so pay close attention and be mindful on the amount of monomer and acrylic you're working with. It's a delicate process, so let's break it down carefully. Now let's break it down. Dip your brush into the monomer. Let it breathe. And when removing, don't take off too much. Aim for a bit less removal. Since you're working with a bigger bead this time, your brush needs enough monomer to handle it. Ideally, keep around 90% monomer on the brush to grab a bead from the acrylic powder. Observe the beauty of the bead. Just remember, when you're going for a bigger bead, make sure your brush has enough monomer. It might feel a bit tricky at the first, but practice will help you get the hang of it. The key is to keep your brush ready to grab the acrylic powder. Keep practicing and you will nail it. Place this bead near the cuticle, then build your nail towards the edge. After placing, clean your brush and start dapping from the cuticle. Be careful not to let the bead flow too much. If it does, a quick dab will bring it back in place, keeping it simple and smooth. Gently tap the bead from the cuticle towards the edge, using your brush with a light touch to cover the entire oval-shaped nail. Keep a close eye on the bead. If it starts flowing, adjust your hand and guide it back onto the nail. The goal is to create a smooth and even surface, not a mountain-like shape. Maintain equal size nail, ensuring smooth and regular. And most importantly, keep it within the nail boundaries. One bead extension is all about balance and precision. Now let's explore the coffin shaped nail using the same one bead acrylic technique. Before we dive in, remember, clean your brush. It's crucial for success. Dip your brush into monomer, remove a bit of excess, ensuring more monomer stays on the brush. Then dab and take a larger bead of acrylic. Witness the elegance of the bead. When the monomer and acrylic ratio is just right, your bead will turn out as beautiful as you see here. Stay focused while handling the bead and ensuring cleanliness. Place the bead near the cuticle, clean your brush and dip it in monomer. With a bit of monomer on the brush, guide the bead from the cuticle to flow towards the edge of the nail. Go slow, use a light touch, and if the acrylic seems to be going beyond the nail, gently place it back and aim for a smooth and clean surface. It's all about finesse and precision. Now cover the edge with the same bead using the same gentle touch and flow. You can do it just as I did mine. So stay focused. This one bead acrylic application technique is unrevealed here, and I will be sharing more tips and tricks in upcoming videos. If you learned and enjoyed this, give it a like, share and subscribe to my channel. Forming a beautiful one bead acrylic is easy with the techniques I have shared. So go ahead, give it a try and follow up my tips and success. Thanks for watching, keep supporting and stay tuned for more videos and tips on extensions and nail art.